And Mike Tyson, traditionally, no robe, no socks. He says it makes him feel like a warrior, makes him feel like a gladiator.
And don't seem to like each other.
First of all, he got a whipping when we was 13. He haven't gotten over it yet. Second of all, I just love to fight. So when I tell people, they come at me, will you fight me? Hell yeah, I'll fight you. I don't care about who you are. I'll fight you any day, anytime, anywhere. I don't care. So he kept on begging. Now he get it. Here I come. And he better be ready to come next Saturday, because I'm coming to get mine back. And I don't even care about them titles. I'm coming to get mine just cause I'm Roy and I still rule this. Understand? I run this line here, not nobody else.
A lot of people were afraid, Roy, you might get hurt tonight. Were you really afraid in the back of your head that something could happen that might have put you in peril?
I was afraid I might get hurt. I didn't fight in 20 years. He only stopped fighting for 3 years. I'm afraid I might get. Why nobody care about my ass?
Well, that's typical, right?
I've been fighting 15 years. He stopped fighting 3 years ago, and everybody worrying about his ass.
Nobody thinks that a giant is going to fall.
I haven't did this in 15, 16 years. I'm not a giant. I'm a beginner.
Did he ever hurt?
So it's the night after the fights. The League of Legends, Legends League, Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. It was a really good fight, man. For what it was, if your expectations wasn't high, if he wasn't going in expecting to see a 20, 30-year-old Mike Tyson and Roy Jones, then you'll be left disappointed. But if you went into this knowing that these are two old men, you know, just still got that little itch they're trying to scratch and just still go out there to perform, then you'll enjoy it for what it was. And I think the Legends League is a real thing. I think you're going to start seeing a lot more older fighters, legendary fighters, looking to mix it up and make some money and entertain the fans across the world, showing them that the old men still got it. I think this is a good thing for the culture, good thing for society, period, to show that the old men, the 50-year-old guys, the old guys can still get out there and bring a lot of attention and really put on a good show in the process. So it was a really good thing. I'm glad nobody got hurt. I didn't want to see nobody get knocked out or nobody get hurt. Go out there, put in some good work, and have fun doing it and entertain the crowd. That's all I wanted them to do, and they delivered on that. Now, Roy Jones, one thing he mentioned prior to the fight happening on the day before, he said that if this goes well with Mike, which I'm assuming went well, went to a draw, he didn't get hurt, get dropped, and nothing like that, he wanted to fight Anderson Silva next. Yeah, that's right. The Spider, the legendary MMA fighter, the UFC fighter, Anderson the Spider Silva. He wants to fight him next. Now, if you're a longtime MMA fan, or if you've been following this thing with Roy Jones and Anderson Silva for years, that's something that's been talked about for years, long before the Mayweather-Conor McGregor thing. They was talking about mixing it up in a cross-promotion type fight. One boxing, one MMA. You know, but it just never happened. Dana White wasn't too interested in something like that at that time. You know, but now we see that it's a real thing and fans are interested. You know, it'll cross promote, bring a lot of the MMA fans and the box fans together to watch a big fight and make a lot of money and entertain the crowd in the process. It didn't happen. But Roy Jones said now it'll definitely happen if the thing goes well with Mike Tyson. It went well. The thing definitely went well. He got through the fight. He entertained throughout. You know, I understand the clinching was, you know, might rub a lot of people the wrong way, but I get it. If you're a fighting guy, you're a boxing guy, you get it. You understand why Roy was clinching. Roy was the smaller man in there. If you look at Roy, he had a lot of flab on him. Why? Because he's not really a heavyweight. Mike Tyson was shredded. Why? Because he's really a heavyweight. So Roy had to do what he had to do to make sure he don't get hit by a still powerful 54-year-old Mike Tyson. But the Anderson Silva thing, right? Anderson Silva is in a situation to where he's done with the UFC, right? Legendary fighter, a lot of respect. Everybody loves Anderson, but nobody wants to touch him now. No promotional company, not even Bare Knuckle. And we all know Bare Knuckle pick up anybody who's a vagabond who got exiled from whatever promotion they was from. They pick up everybody, but they didn't even want to touch Anderson. It could be many reasons. It could be Anderson worth too much. It could be people respect him too much. It could be people just don't want to see him getting there, getting hurt again. You know, but I think the Legends League thing is a good place for Anderson Silva, even though he'll probably be one of the younger guys partaking in it, depending who all decides to jump in this. It'll be a good thing for Anderson. He always wanted to box. You know, he always wanted to box with Roy Jones because that's his idol, like many of us. A lot of us looked up to Roy. If you seen Snoop Dogg last night, get him, Roy. Come on, Roy.
And Tyson, though, holding up.
Get off there, Roy. Get off, Roy. Look at
get him, Roy. He was all on Roy's. I was cracking up. I was doing the same thing at home with him. It was definitely a fun event, man. They did a phenomenal job. Whoever that promoter was did a real good job. There was a few things here and there that was, you could have questioned, but overall, for his first boxing promotion event, they did a phenomenal job. They did a phenomenal job promoting it, marketing it, getting all these celebrities. Some of that music, one of the things I did, some of that newer music of these younger guys, I didn't really care for. Of course, I could sit there and listen to Snoop Dogg. I had no problem with that, right? But it was a really good event overall. And I think we should see more like this. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson, I think he's on to something. He seems very interested. I mean, he seems very into what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? He seems like he's really, really ready to give back to boxing, and in a big way. You know, Mike Tyson's the biggest name, one of the biggest names in the world. I mean, come on, Mike Tyson. Everybody knows that name. So whatever he do, whatever he touches is going to be gold. And it's going to sell and do well. I don't think any pay-per-view this fight this year that we've seen is going to do better than what Mike Tyson and Roy Jones just did. Not to mention, some of the undercards fights were exciting. They were action-packed. You know, they made a smaller ring, so less chance for moving around and, you know, breaks in the action. It was a smaller ring. You know, Badu Jack, I'm surprised he didn't get that guy up out of there, honestly. I'm very surprised Badu didn't get that guy up out of there. But, hey, he's a tough guy. What could you say? You can't stop everybody. Some dudes are just super, super tough. And he was one of them. But the Nate Robinson, Jake Paul thing was just, oh, my goodness, that was brutal. It was a bad look for basketball players. I know they all got their head down, shaking their head like, oh, my God, we gonna stay our asses on the basketball court. We ain't going nowhere near that boxing ring. Nate took a chance. It just didn't work out for him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he should have had a few real sparring sessions. I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe it was just, and he was anxious. It was his first time fighting, so I get it. You know, maybe he should have did a few smokers first, just so he can get the feel of everything, and then went into that type of fight. Because that was your first fight. Like, you're not even no amateur experience, no nothing. That was your first fight. And let's be honest, a guy like Nate Robinson probably hasn't fought since he was a kid, or maybe in the locker room. Maybe he got to a fight in high school or something. But for him to go into a professional boxing match with a guy that, you know, got some pro fight experience, that's been doing this for a little bit now, he got a lot of balls, man. I respect him. You know, I'm not going to knock Nate Robinson for getting laid out like that. It was a brutal knockout. Really, it should have been stopped after the first or second knockdown, honestly. It should have been stopped. Really bad look for Nate, man. Oh my God. But overall, man, the matchmaking was good. The Jermaine Ortiz and Solomon guy, that fight, very good fight, action-packed, competitive, back and forth. These 8 rounders was pretty good, man. You know, I'm thinking like, these fights 8 rounds go back quick, but them 8 rounds, these boys was putting in work the whole night. I mean, they did a good job with this event. Do we want to see more is the question. I think the Roy Jones Anderson thing, if Roy, after the fight, Roy seemed like, hey, man, I'm tired. My knees is gone. I don't want to do this no more. So that's the kind of vibe that I got from Roy. Like, hey, man, I barely got through this with Mike. You know, everything he did hurt it. You know, but maybe for a smaller guy like Anderson, who's closer to his size, he'll probably be more intrigued. Mike Tyson wants Roy back on the card again. Mike Tyson definitely wants to do this again. And I'm just so glad that Mike Tyson has finally got back into boxing, and in a big way. This might make guys like Floyd Mayweather jealous, because people got more respect and love for Mike Tyson than they do Floyd. So Mayweather may start hating and all this other stuff, but at the end of the day, man, you got to let the old dogs have their place. And Mike Tyson found his, and hopefully Roy Jones will continue to do what he do. Big fan of Roy Jones. Actually, let me just say this. Roy Jones is my favorite fighter of all time, any discipline. Period. Roy Jones, you can't tell me nothing about Roy Jones, okay? I'm super biased when it comes to Roy, okay? I love Mike Tyson, but Roy Jones was my guy growing up. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.